Welcome back to Financial Trading Basics. So today, as you can see, we're back on the markets. I wanted to cover something in economics, more in accounting, so more so than trading. Trading-wise, I haven't really done anything. It's moved me. I lost $57 today trying to go long on Micron. Basically, let's see, I'm still sitting up for the month. I don't have month on here, but we'll go. Oops, you can't see me. 1 second. Forgot to have my window float on top. Okay. So what I wanted to show you today was wash sales. I wanted to show you the accounting of wash sales. But I've been trading Micron, so for if you don't know what a wash sale is, let's say we'll just use the example of Micron. I traded both long and short, so I've gone both long the stock and short the stock. So a wash sale is, I don't know the exact dates, but if you buy a security, if I buy Micron, let's say I've never touched Micron before, I open up my brokerage account and I buy Micron. I hold the position for, let's say I'm new to trading, so I hold the position for 15 days. And so those 15 days go by, I lose 10% of my holdings, and then tax season's coming right up. And so I sell at a loss, and then I immediately buy back, and immediately in this case is plus or minus 30 days. So you immediately reacquire that security. You're showing a loss for the year, but effectively, if that stock appreciates further from there, if Micron goes up, you're showing that paper loss, but effectively you've held this security the entire time. So the motivation for having what we'll show you here, they call them disallowed losses on Schwab. You can see right here, disallowed loss of 901. So that's what a wash sale is you're either buying a security back that you just sold at a loss to have that tax break, but then you just reacquire the security in the same position that you were. So you effectively don't really realize the loss. And then it's just the opposite for shorting. If you short a stock and it goes up and you lose it, and then you re-short it and it goes down, you didn't effectively realize that loss. So the motivation, completely agree with. So for the month of October, I haven't really done much. I closed out my American Eagle in the Micron, one of the initial Micron trades. And so I was sitting up about right around $1,000, and I've just kind of petered around plus or minus 20, 50 bucks on Micron throughout the month. So, again, I don't make videos just to show you me trading. If I can't provide new insight, because like I said, the markets are not consolidated enough. It's not gambling, but there's just nothing more to say. You either make money or lose money. I'll make a couple videos of live trading, but again, without real risk tolerance, there's just nothing important for me to show you. And so, but this did come up. I wanted to show you just my overall trading. I'm just kind of doing nothing, taking small positions. If they go my favor, great. If they crap me out, great. So you can see over here on Micron, I went long. And again, I've been trading this both long and short. And so, I thought didn't listen to my own rule right here, that the change of the 1017. But again, I thought Micron would appreciate today. I was going long, so I thought the initial washout would be much shorter than the 1015 to the 1017 as being the change in direction of the morning trade. So I entered a little early, but I thought it was reasonable right around here, 220 off this initial break here, and then put my risk on a couple, $3, 25 shares on $2.50, so right around the $60. Because again, this is a highly liquid, highly traded stock, so your execution price is going to be very, very close to your stop limit or your stop loss or any limit order really. But so that's what I did today. It doesn't really matter. My point being is when I'm over here yesterday or Friday, you can't see the date. It is October 27th at 11:50. Clearly the markets are open. So I've been trading Micron, again, both long and short, and so I know exactly what a wash sale is, but then when I come over here to my accounting under the realized gain and loss, which again, all accounting should be done on realization, totally agree with the motivation for not allowing wash sales as tax losses. But what I don't understand is, as someone who's educated and knows what's going on in the stock market, I can't follow the line accounting on here. And so I wish I would have taped it last on Friday because I was going to, but then I just went and did something else. But basically what happened was here on Thinkorswim. So Thinkorswim, the platform was developed and owned by TD Ameritrade. Schwab comes in and buys TD Ameritrade, right around 2 years ago. And so I don't know if this software was bought previously from a different party, but meaning this was integrated into Thinkorswim, bought by a different company, Schwab, and now it's still used. So what I typically see here is Last Friday when I had closed all my positions, I didn't have anything open in Micron. On TD Ameritrade or on Schwab website, it was showing the realization. And I wish I just could have done, or maybe we can still do it, 1026. But the realization was, first of all, it was different from TD Ameritrade, the profit or loss on the day, to the profit or loss on the what is that? I try to do 1026. I just wanted to do 1025. What was Monday? Let's see if we can get it. Okay, it doesn't really matter. But point being was it showed a difference between TD Ameritrade and Schwab, which isn't a huge deal, but I thought that was extremely strange for a financial company of this size to have any sort of latency whatsoever. But the point being is I call up Schwab, and the guy's like, "Yeah, I've heard of this before." And I'm explaining it to him. And again, it's one of these situations where I can tell. I ask a very simple question. It's very direct. It has a direct answer, yes or no, this or that. And he doesn't give me a straight answer because he doesn't know. And so he's telling me that there's a discrepancy in this and that. And then I get on TD Ameritrade this morning, or Schwab again this morning, and I don't know if it's the fund settling, but funds should settle immediately for accounts of this size. I mean, really anything, and they do. So it's I'm not sure. Kind of a ticky-tacky thing, but again, it's just more arrogance from some dude graduated with his degree in finance, and I call him up, ask a very direct question, and it's he has to know. He has to know the answer, and he doesn't. He clearly didn't. So I ask a very direct question. He doesn't give me a direct response. It's not hugely important to anything, but I'm just thinking, why would there be any latency or discrepancy between TD Ameritrade, the operational platform of Thinkorswim to execute the trades, and then Schwab, the parent company or whatever. This is a plug-in or a extension of Schwab. And so, but then I get on this morning and it's showing the exact prices, profit and loss on a given day or a given month on Thinkorswim platform to execute the trades and Schwab's realized profit or loss statement. So this is just a little clip I'm going to insert into the video that you're watching now, if you are watching this video. But I did not even say it explicitly. So if we just look over, because I was talking about the actual line items of not knowing what's going on in between here. But if you just look at because this is just showing Micron, this is just showing for this month. So this is a security that I have not touched besides this month whatsoever. So it's showing my long-term gain 0, short-term gain 845.77, which again, I only had, I've had that's probably right. Net gain 845.77, disallowed loss 668.99. I've never lost $668.99 ever at any point with Micron. So when I say it's disallowed of $670 of losses, is that it's just okay. Well, this is showing the whole thing. That's my fault. But getting over here to Micron, the point stands is I don't have $545 worth of losses in Micron, and then showing my short-term gain at 346. And so the gain is clearly less than the allowed, and then it shows my net gain total is 346. So I don't get how we have disallowed loss over to total losses, because that would be the combination of a disallowed and an allowed loss. So disallowed loss is the portion you are not allowed to write off on your taxes. And so total losses I'm assuming those are the ones you're allowed to write, 251. But just see, I'm saying this, I don't know what's going on. I don't know how we're going. The number of total gain, 346, that seems exactly correct. But this intermediary step of I've never lost $550 worth of monetary value on Micron at all. So it's not like I've made, what the difference about, it's not like I've made $1,000 on Micron and then lost 540. Or I just don't think so. Something is not clear to me. Because I always have a very good understanding of where I'm at, because I don't overtrade. This might look like this is frankly a lot of ins and out for me, but most of these are plus or minus $5 to $15. And so I'm just not sure. Just simply looking at this chunk right here, I know what proceeds and cost basis are. I know what gains and losses are. Just the short term, what is exactly accounting in this chunk right here? I am not sure. I don't know how $548 of disallowed losses. Total gains of the 600. See, that seems completely correct, because I had the one big win at 500 and a bunch of fluctuations about $100 less. So this chunk seems correct. I just don't know what's going on here. So thank you for watching. Back to the rest of the video. So Schwab, I'm not sure who you're hiring over there, but they gave me the wrong information, and I don't know why the discrepancy is there in the first place. As somebody who is competent at following accounting very literally, when I say disallowed loss, right? Anytime you have all of these double negations, right? A loss is negative. If you're allowed to do something, you're allowed to lose. Now you're not allowed to not lose or lose, loss, list, win, winning, gain. What is going on anymore? Right? So anytime you have these like big amalgamations of negation, you're not doing something correctly. And as somebody who can even, if 1 + 1 = 3, but it still equals 3 the next time, yeah, I can still follow that. This, I'm not sure what's going on. And so I just wanted to point that out, is the accounting on individual brokerage accounts for wash sales as a competent, I would like to think a competent investor, certainly in equities and options, that I can't follow exactly what's going on. It should just be more clear. And so the actual accounting of wash sales, like I said, totally agree with the motivation to do that, to not allow, these, if you still get to participate in the appreciation of a security or the return of a security, you can't just like head fake out like you sold the thing or didn't benefit from it. But I cannot follow this, and I just didn't really trade much this month at all. And I can't, like I said, I can't trade meaningfully. So sort of Josh Brown and Julia Borstein, I can pull up right here. It's literally right here on my hard drive, a clip of you saying, oh, well, maybe there's not much more to do, and maybe he looks more attractive in his late 20s. Well, now I'm 32, and I live at my parents' house, and I want to do the exact same thing you guys do on CNBC. I want to talk about stocks. This is one environment where, again, I can't solve things completely. Physics is done. Mathematics is not done, but I'm doing the most you can do, and that's trivial. Stocks is something I like to do. I like to approach it more from the economic standpoint, just because there's not much to talk about from the actual day-to-day trades, right? Like I told you, I'm on fixed income about anywhere between $1,600 and $2,400 a month. My bills are extremely low, and I give myself about $400 a month. And I could even go up to like $800 a month, and wouldn't affect my day-to-day lifestyle. But it's just boring as shit to get on here, lose $10 to $50, make $100 to $150. It doesn't affect my lifestyle in any way. Maybe it gets me another sandwich or a tank of gas, or I lose a tank of gas. But it's just not like I can't. I crap out my morning open trade, and then I'm not even on the markets anymore. Like if I want to trade, I want to do something where I can invest a lot of time in it. And there's a lot of fruitful, that's not a word. Fruitful, that's what I was looking for. Fruitful ground to explore. And there's a lot of open questions that can be answered. And I am the guy that proved game theory wrong, right? That's 100% a legitimate Nobel Prize worth of economics development. It's simply saying profit exists, and the game theory is wrong, but you have to have the mathematical backing to do so. I do. And so, but what I'm saying is consolidation of markets, consumer behavior going to more educated decisions. Because all decisions are educated. It just depends on how educated you are. And so there will be a lot of development in financial markets, specifically from an economic standpoint, more so than a trade. Truly, my overall prospectus on the market or trading is more people, stock go up. That's really it. And so it's fun to play, and obviously there's real money in it. That's every financial. But like, for example, right, you can't, like, if I just say, all of it is true. Like I said, all of these indicators are lagging indicators. None of this stuff is like, this is all the past. This is all set. You can drown yourself in as much data as you want. It's not really indicative of the future. It's just reflective of human behaviors from the past. That's why it looks like there are. And I look at the charts. They're all right there. They're on my screen. It doesn't really mean anything. And so that's what I really wanted to cover, wash sales. I'm not really doing much on trading, just entering small positions. If something were to happen, like I made like the 500 or whatever when a random Trump tweet sent this thing down like, 25% a day and then back up. But I have been trading it long and short. Again, definitely bullish on the economy overall. No real insight. If this is the top, the next top, if it's consolidation, whatever. I'll say I don't think it's consolidation. It's but again, if you have a 200% appreciation in a given stock or in an entire sector or an entire economy, like the United States economy or the global economy altogether, it doesn't mean it has to go down. It doesn't mean it has to consolidate for a given amount of time. It doesn't mean it has to consolidate at all. And so it's just like, you just kind of have to be like, put myself out there, hope to be in the right place at the right time. This month certainly has not been it for me, but I just haven't been doing much of anything. Meaning more so like I can't even stay in the positions long enough to make videos. And so that is it. I just wanted to cover the wash sale for today. This stuff is not making sense as someone who's tried. And again, I understand what's going on. I'm just not following these line items, how we go from one line to the next. And again, because if I trade Micron and I'm in and out 4 or 5 different times in a different day, that's 30 to 50 trades in a week on the same security. So what exactly? It could be way more clear. So that is it for today in my coverage of what a wash sale is, and the accounting is not very clear, and disallowed super losses squared plus positive negative is not clear. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.